Hello everyone, welcome to week 4 of the course. This is Professor Hasselman with History 4A at Delta College. It's hard to believe we've already gone 3 weeks through this course and we've learned quite a bit about prehistory and the development of early civilizations. This week we're going to be continuing that as well, and I just thought I'd share with you a couple of things and kind of make sure we're all on the same page. So on your homepage here we can see the most recent announcements once again, and then our to-do list on the side here. So we've got a quiz to complete, our week 4 source analysis, and our week 4 takeaway. So we'll go ahead and dive directly into the modules here to see what we have for this week. It's a little bit different how we arranged it this week, but this should help you guys figure that out. So clicking directly on the welcome to week 4, we can see this week we're going to be learning more about Mesopotamia and ancient Egypt and the Mediterranean, kind of continue from last week. And by the end of the week, we should be able to identify more of the cultural origins of Mesopotamian and Egyptian civilization and describe the relationship between geographical features of the ancient world and development of early civilizations. So it's a little bit different this week, how I have it organized. Notice we do not have a discussion for this week, but we will be focusing our discussion instead on our week 4 takeaway, which is going to have a question for us to answer, and I will look forward to you guys participating with one another in that conversation. So clicking on the next button takes us to our section, reading 2.2 on states in ancient Mesopotamia. After you've completed all of your reading and gone through the tabs, you'll take only one quiz this week on 2.2, and then you'll read about ancient Egypt. And there's no quiz for this section, so don't worry when you go in there and look to see, where's the quiz? I don't understand what happened. It's not in there for this section. Then you're also going to be reading an excerpt and watching a video on Hammurabi's code. There is a fun little quiz to check for your understanding. It's not graded, but you can kind of read through that and take that quiz to see how you do. Just a couple of questions. We have got some background information on Hammurabi's code and the source that I want you to read through. So several of the laws here. You can also find a more in-depth version of this by just searching for Hammurabi's code, and I'll put a link in there as well. So if you want to read more about that. After you've completed that, your assignment for this week is to basically look for examples of the way Hammurabi's code dealt with relationships between these sets of partnerships: wives and husbands, freeborn, unrelated women and men, prostitutes and men, sons and fathers, and daughters and fathers. You're going to create a chart like this, and you're going to find a summary in Hammurabi's laws about how wives and husbands are dealt with, and even put in there like a specific law code would be something to be very useful. Then when you're all done with that, so you put your table on the top of the page, and underneath that you're going to answer this question: how would you describe the hierarchies, including the social classes of Babylonian society, based on the selection of Hammurabi's laws? Okay, and when you're done with that, you're going to submit both of those as a PDF or Word document directly into Canvas, and I'll be looking again at how well you analyze the document, your knowledge of historical context, so connecting some of what you may have heard in some lectures, what you read about in the textbook, and then what you read about in the laws, and then some of the main points, and you really make sure you cite those as well. After you've done that, you're going to participate in this week's takeaway. Okay, so this will be a little bit different than in the past, where we usually have a formal discussion online. What I would like you to do during this week's takeaway is treat this like a discussion forum in video format. Okay, so what you'll do is you will record your initial post, your initial response to the question within Flipgrid, and then go back to the grid later and listen through some of your classmates' responses and reply to those, right? And there's I would like maybe 2 or 3 replies if you can, but feel free to really use this as pretend like you're in the classroom and you're going around and listening to each other talk and what you have to say and talk back with one another. Okay, so a quick reminder. So how do you record your Flipgrids? Okay, so what we're going to do is, of course, I have 2 things. So you can link this directly into Canvas or put your code in, but you will still need to use your either a Microsoft account or a Gmail account. I would recommend Google. It's a little easier to log into. That's how I've logged into these assignments as well. And this should kind of really clarify some of those things. We've had 3 of these so far, but sometimes it still takes a little bit of time. So clicking on this link to the week 4 takeaway, I'm already logged in, so it knows who I am. So this is directly to the takeaway. So all you will see is the prompt that you have, and then your recording. So I'm going to go ahead and click on record a response, either that big button, a little button. I'm going to join with Google so it knows who I am there. Okay, I'm going to click on my Google account and it says login successful. And there it is right there on the screen. So there I am right there. So I'll hit the record button. So this is Professor Hasselman with the week 4 takeaway. As a reminder for this takeaway, you're going to be looking at some of the relationships between men and women and sisters and brothers, and how those may or may not differ from our relationship today in our law system, and based on what we're kind of how Hammurabi's code and some of the earlier civilizations may be similar or different to what it's like living in the United States today and what we can look at there, right? So you're just going to record that directly in there, and then you're going to take some time to go back and respond to each other's responses. Okay, so go back and hit the record button, and I'll be showing you how to do that as well in the tutorial that I'm giving you. So I look forward to seeing what you guys come up with, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Okay, so I've recorded my message there. Hit the next button. So this is Professor Hasselman with the week 4 takeaway. As a reminder for this takeaway, you're going to be... Okay, so that's what it's recorded up online there. And then I'm going to just go ahead and take a selfie. So I'm going to pause here, smile. There's my picture so everyone can see that. I can add whatever effects I want to, like some of you have done in the past. Hit the next button, and it's going to upload it. Okay, so I'm going to change my name, in this case, to Professor Hasselman. Full names would be very good for us to be able to find it. And then hit the submit button. And then it says success. Your video has been uploaded. So this is the most important thing. Here is that link that I've been asking you about here. Hit the control button on my computer here. I'm going to copy that link. Hit the complete button. And it eventually will show up within Canvas, okay? Or within Flipgrid, excuse me. So I'm going to go back to my week 4 takeaway. I'm going to hit the submit button as a student. It asks for the website URL. I'm going to paste it directly in there and hit the submit button. Now, some of you have asked me, what happens after I do this? What if I forgot to copy and paste it? How do I find my link? Okay, so within the course syllabus and also in some of the earlier announcements, I have what's called a flip code for our course grid. Okay, so if I click on this link right here, History 4A, it takes me directly to our grid. This is all the grid that we've had, all the different topics that we've been discussing in this class. So this is where you go back and you review those. And then it has mine down here on the bottom that I just made, right? So let's say I forgot to copy and paste it. I go to my video. I'm going to click on my video. This is Professor Hasselman with... And for some reason, I don't remember what my code is, all that kind of stuff, right? I'm going to go up here to the top, and I'm going to copy and paste this link directly into Canvas. So if I click here, I submit it, and that's done right there. Now notice my video that I posted was about 45 seconds long, maybe a little bit more than that. The better internet broadband you have and the shorter the video, usually the quicker it uploads, right? So I've done it directly on a computer. If you're doing it on your phone, make sure you have really good reception or you're using really good Wi-Fi to be able to do that. It may take some time. But if you click on the course grid, and it hadn't quite finished loading yet, but you want to you know that you've done it. It says submit. You don't see it. Click on the course grid to see if you see it there. So that's all that we have for this week. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. And I remember I've got my office hours scheduled Tuesdays and Thursdays from 10 to 11:30 a.m. We also have in our modules this section on the top here called Get Assistance, which is you can ask questions in the Q&A, in the student lounge, and you can click on my office hours here. If you find that you're unable to attend my office hours on Tuesdays and Thursdays, let me know a time that may work for you during the week or in the evenings. If you're having any questions, that way I can help you out as well. So I look forward to seeing your work for the last couple of weeks and seeing what you've learned over the course of the semester so far. Be sure to be safe and healthy and avoid going outdoors. We have some pretty bad air quality down here in Modesto. It's in the very hazard, unsafe range. If you are going outside, be sure you're wearing a mask, not just for COVID-19, but for the bad air quality as well. Hopefully all this will pass soon, and hopefully you're sending your thoughts to those that are affected by the wildfires in Northern California, Southern California, all of California, parts of Oregon, and parts of Washington as well. So have a great week, everyone. And again, stay safe and stay healthy.